Hey kids, and welcome to the show. Today we're going to be talking about the false expectations placed on teenagers that sometimes ruin their lives. I was a youth minister for 18 years. Yes, you heard that, 18 long, beautiful years where I was responsible for guiding children closer to God. And on occasion, I did a pretty good job of it, and on occasion, I did a really bad job of it. Well, one of the things I think I've done really well, and I continue to do, and hope to do better, and I hope to be a resource in this arena of the Catholic Church, and that's building vocations. I have spent my life working on vocations, praying for my own and praying for other people's vocations. And in 18 years of doing youth ministry, there is one vocation or one style of presenting that vocation that seems to be very toxic. And that is the vocation of priesthood onto good-looking teenage boys. And I say good-looking teenage boys because when you see a young man in a church, and I was one of these guys. I was a fairly good-looking man. I wasn't like a 10, but I was athletic, so I was a pretty good-looking young man. And I dressed nice, I was clean, I had a nice haircut. So I saw it from a different perspective. So we're going to go on to talk about what I saw from the other side, because this happened to me too. So I don't have to tell my story to tell somebody else's story. And I'm going to tell the story of 3 young men, because the things I say will be intertwined into actually 6 young men. 9. Oh, I can't count. So a lot of stories are intertwined here, because I've done youth ministry in the military, I've done youth ministry in Kansas City, I did youth ministry in Salina, I did itinerant ministry, I did youth ministry in Oklahoma City, and now I'm doing this. So one of the big things that you see in youth ministry is pray for vocations, pray for vocations, pray for vocations. And so you approach those young men and say, I see you're in church. I think you should be a priest. And the first time you hear that, it's kind of like, yeah, probably not. And then you hear it again, and then you hear it again, and you hear it again. And then all of a sudden, everyone starts to say, you should be a priest, you should be a priest. And every time you walk into the sanctuary or the church, you are greeted by people saying, hey, have you thought about the priesthood? Have you thought about going to seminary? Have you gone to the retreat? Have you gone to this? And then you have this young man that says, yes, I have thought about all those things, and I'm going to that retreat this weekend. I'm going to, yes, I think I will go to seminary. And in their mind, they're like, I just want to work on airplanes, or I just want to be, I want to be a mechanic. I don't want to be a priest. I don't want those responsibilities. But then people are thrusting them on you, and sometimes that works out well, because when a kid has a vocation to the priesthood, it's a really important thing to affirm. The problem is we push these vocations onto our kids before they ask for them. So if a teenager comes up to you and says, hey, I'm thinking about being a priest, then you look at the teenager and say, great, check out this retreat, check out this. What questions do you have? Let me introduce you to my friend that's a priest. That's when you engage. But so often we engage young men because they decided to be altar servers because they want to serve on the altar. Not because they want to be priests, but because they want to be closer, and it's something to do. For me, growing up, I didn't always have the nicest clothes. And being an altar server just meant I had to have nice shoes. So there's different reasons for being an altar server. And when you go to the table and you're not always welcomed unless you are fulfilling this role, well, then when you decide that priesthood isn't for you and that you want to get married, everyone says, oh, what a waste. Oh, he should have been a priest. Oh, he should have done that. And people that are priests or people that are deacons and bishops and everything will probably all tell you what I'm about to tell you. And it's why continue to... A vocation is a vocation. God is going to call you to do something. It may be He's going to call you to walk across the street and give someone a hug. It may be priesthood. It may be to be a sister. It may be to be a brother, like a monk, and you just go out there and you just live by yourself, or you live with the community. There are a lot of different ways to serve God, and one of them is to be married. And so often we forget that the same men that we look at that would make great priests will also make great husbands that will create great men. We push these boys to the priesthood, push, and then when they decide that that's not what they want to do, they oftentimes have two choices, and both of them are bad. Number one, let me switch churches because every time I walk into this church, everybody reminds me that I didn't go to seminary, or I didn't go to the priesthood, or I dropped out of seminary, or. So I'll move. I love my Catholic faith. I will move to another church across town, and I will have my family, and I will be wonderful, and it will be my vocation fulfilled. Or I am so sick of hearing this. I don't want to be a priest. I am tired of it. I'm gone. I'm done. I'm not even going to go to church anymore. And that's the other bad one. There is the third option, though. There is that opportunity or that chance that you are actually talking to a young man who does want to be a priest. And then you're the only person in the world talking to him. Because most of the people around him are like, oh, don't be a priest, don't be a priest. His friends, don't be a priest. His teachers, don't be a priest, don't do that, that's dumb. You're not going to be able to get married, you're not going to be able to do this. And that is their echo chamber. And then you're the only person that says, hey, you think about being a priest? So here is the challenge. Wait till they approach you. Wait till they come to the community and say, you know what? I've been looking at this priest that's in front of this congregation, and he speaks truth, and he speaks with love. I want to learn more about what makes him tick. And then when a young man says, I want to know what makes Father tick, a lot of times it's because they don't have the right kind of dad at home. Because I encourage vocations in my kids. What I don't encourage is my expectation of what a vocation is on my kids. Until next time, work hard, be kind, and have fun.